Hey everybody, welcome back to Me, Myself, and Die, the 5 Parsecs from Home. This is episode 6. Our crew of the Furious just fought off a bunch of crazed cultists on the temple world of Traxia 5, and they have found the final coordinates to the stash of stuff that the Vendetta's crew has left behind on this planet. Now, I determined before that the stash itself will have a member of the Vendetta's crew there. We've already fought one off, Isa's son, and we killed Isa's son, but there's gonna be somebody else here. Now that's gonna be tough because this is a fight off kind of battle, which means there's gonna be a bunch of fearless enemies and there's gonna be more than usual and all that kind of stuff. But before we get there, let's go into the regular campaign turn 6. So we get +1 story point because every 3 turns you get another story point, so that puts us up to 8. The other thing I want to mention before we begin is that the communicator. I was using the communicator slightly incorrectly. As it turns out, when you use a communicator, you just roll an extra die for the whole group, and then you drop the highest, or the one you don't want, which makes sense. It wouldn't make sense that a communicator would only benefit one person. You know, you're communicating with the crew, so that's how that's gonna work, to try and remember that. Also, we did find this shock attachment, which is a gun mod. It says in the book, items from this list, like gun mods, must be fitted to a non-melee, non-single shot weapon and cannot be removed or reversed. Non-single shot weapon made me think you can't put it in a rifle, but I think what they meant, and this is somebody in the comments also pointed this out to me, that should probably read non-single use item. So in other words, you can't put it on a grenade. That's how I'm choosing to interpret that with the help from the commenters. So I like that. I didn't see any rules about where or when to attach that thing. So I'm gonna treat it the same way as a gun sight, which means that you can attach a gun sight to a gun during the phase where you're handing out gear to everybody. And it didn't say anything about actually having to use like a repair phase or anything like that. So I think it's just gonna be a thing that happens, and we'll figure out which weapon that gets applied to when we get to it. We have upkeep and ship repairs. So we do pay 1 credit for a crew of 6. However, we do have the water purifier, which gives us a credit, so that is taken care of. Then we talk about ship debt. I still owe 9 on it. I'm going to spend, I don't have a lot of credits left right now. I only have 9 credits, so I'm gonna spend 2 credits. So that puts me down to 7. That's gonna bring the ship debt down to 7 as well, but they charge you interest, so it actually goes to 8. There's no ship repairs, there's nobody in sick bay, so now we assign and resolve crew tasks. So we made a contact, I believe it was Vine that made a contact last time, a useful contact, someone by the name of Lovey Lumen. And that next contact means that next turn, which is this turn, +1 to either recruit, find a patron, or track a rival. So I don't think we're gonna recruit. I don't think we're gonna track a rival because we wanna finish this quest. So I think somebody, probably Vine, is gonna go and try and find a patron just for future use, because we might as well use the bonus while we have it. Training. The captain's gonna train. He's gonna focus on his gunplay and such, and he's gonna spend his XP, his now 7 XP, increase his combat to +2. Trading and exploring, these are all good things. Oh, repair, someone with a good savvy. I think Kathria is gonna try and repair the damaged hazard suit. Kathria is gonna roll +2 because she's got 2 savvy. I can't really afford to spend credits on her right now, so D6 +2, 1 +2. Unfortunately, no, she's unable to repair the hazard suit, which sucks. Someone has got to go on decoy because we do now have 2 rivals, because remember someone was, I think it was the captain that was mouthing off the wrong person in a local bar. I'm going to send Kale on decoy, which means that Stein and Mara, respectively, Stein is going to trade and Mara's going to explore. What does Stein find in the marketplaces of Traxia? Contraband. You can turn this down, but if you accept it, you earn 1d6 credits from selling it on. If you roll a 4 to 6, you also receive a rival, which to me would mean the law. So the more you make from the contraband, the more likely you're discovered. That makes sense to me. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna test my luck here. How much is he able to sell that on the black markets of Traxia 5? Okay, well it's only 1. I take it. 1 more credit from the black market exchange of this contraband. And I wonder what would be contraband on a temple world. Maybe a book by Richard Dawkins. And now exploring is gonna be Mara, and Mara is exploring this temple world, Traxia 5, or the city that they're in any case, this holy city, whatever it is. You hear a tip. You may opt to automatically track down a rival to fight this campaign turn. Well, it's a good tip, but it's not one that we're particularly interested in because we want to finish the quest. So she does hear the tip, but I think she sends it on to the captain and says, Captain, I've got a tip on the rival that's currently hunting us down. You remember the guys that you mouthed off in the bar? Yeah, well, I know where they are. We can find them if you like. And the captain says, that's a negative, Mara. We gotta focus on the stash. We're this close. We do not want to walk away from this now. So that brings us to the determine the job offers. Vine was the only one looking for a patron. He does get a +1 to this roll though because of the useful contact. Lovely Lumen. You roll 1d6. You add +1 for the number of crew members, which is Vine, and +1 for the bonus, which is +2 all in. After rolling, you may opt to spend credits. So this is +2. 2 + 2 is 4. Well, if the result is 5 or higher, you found a patron. You know what? I think we're going to spend the credit that we basically just got from the black market. So we'll go back down to 7. But that means we do, in fact, because of our Lovey Lumen connection. Hey, Vine, have I got a connection for you? He sounds like he could be like a used flying car salesman. What is the patron that he has found? 5. Sector government. Ooh, interesting. Okay. What's the danger pay on this one? 10. Oh my goodness. +3 credits and roll twice, picking the higher die when rolling for mission pay after the battle. This one is really, really lucrative. The time frame, though, let's see what the time frame is to this campaign turn. Oh, that's going to be a tough choice. Do they take this really potentially valuable contract, or do they go after the quest? I think the captain's definitely going to want to go after the quest, but I mean, the other crew might have to try and convince him that, this is a lot of money. We don't actually know what's in the stash of the Vendetta's crew. So whatever the sector government wants, it's got to be done now. There's no waiting around. Are there any additional benefits, hazards, or conditions? Benefits? No. Hazards? No. And conditions? These are all 8s, by the way. No. So there's no benefits. Nothing. It's just money. If they try the mission, even if they fail, they get +3 credits. And then they roll twice, picking the higher die when rolling for mission pay after the battle. So this is potentially quite a lot of money. Oh, good question. How is that going to play out? Not entirely sure. Assign equipment. Let's deal with this shock attachment now. We could put that on for free in the assign equipment phase. The weapon receives the impact trait against targets within 8 inches, so it basically stuns twice instead of once when it hits, which is pretty great. That is going to go to Stein on his hand laser. He also has his steel boots, which means he can choose to kick somebody back in melee if he wants. The rest of the equipment, hazard suit still damaged, personal trinket credits, purifier, stim packs, rage ups, med patches we don't have to deal with, but the captain will keep the communicator and the sonic emitter. Resolve any rumors. We don't have any rumors because we're on a quest, and the rumors that we had already have gone towards finding the end of this quest. So now we choose our battle. Well, the first thing we need to do is check for rivals, because there is a chance. So Kale is out there as a decoy. We have 2 total rivals. We don't want to get 2 or less, but I roll +1 because of Kale. And we roll 3 + 1 is 4. That's not 2 or less, so no rivals show up, which is great. Now we decide. Do we go after the stash, which is what the captain's been wanting the whole time, or do we carry out this patron job? Do we go for the money, or do we go for the stuff? I guess the question is, does Vine and the crew convince the captain that this is what they want to do? Well, who's motivated by wealth? That's the question. Well, Stein is motivated by tech, so he would definitely be on the side of going after the stash. Mara is motivated by wealth. Vine is motivated by freedom. Kale is motivated by power, and Catherine is motivated by glory. That's kind of leaning that most of the crew wants to go after the stash. You know what? I think the majority of the crew, I think they, based on their motivations, I think they want to go after the stash too. So Mara tries to convince the crew and the captain, but eventually Ganymer says, no, it is a lot of money, but we're so close right now, Mara. We're so close. And I know that one of the members of the Vendetta's crew is going to be waiting at that stash, and this is our chance to take out another one. Right, well, you are the captain, sir. And so that is that. They're going to, in fact, choose to go after the quest battle. Now, when you are at the final stage of a quest, this is a straight-up fight. You must add +1 to the number of opponents faced, and the opponents will be fearless. We determine the deployment conditions for a quest, and what do we get? We get 10. Small encounter. Ooh. A random crew member must sit out this fight. Reduce enemy numbers by -1 or -2 if they initially outnumber you. So with a fight-off mission, there's no objective. It's just hold the field, fight them off, whatever the case is. There's no other win conditions besides that. Random crew member must sit out this fight. Here we go. Who is it? It is Stein. Stein must sit out this fight. Notable sites. Quest 82. Peculiar item. And if you interact with the item, you get +2 XP. Determine the enemy. Quest mission. It's going to be 39. Hired muscle. Someone has hired goons to stop you from achieving whatever it is you're trying to do. Well, I'm presuming that this is probably the crew member of the Vendetta who's hired these goons. Being paid professionals, you are -1 to any attempt to seize the initiative, which will actually counter the scanner bot that Kale has. Who are the hired muscle that this crew member has hired to protect the stash? 88. Black Dragon mercenaries. Extremely professional, the Black Dragons have carefully cultivated a reputation for clean operations and high standards. They are stubborn, they ignore the first casualty of the battle when making a morale check. Their AI is tactical. Their numbers are +1, and also, because it's a quest battle, also +1, Black Dragon mercs. Wow, okay. So I'm gonna roll 2d6 and pick the higher. Okay, well, they're the same. 5, there's actually 7 of them. Reduce enemy numbers by -1 or -2 if they initially outnumber you. So 7 of them definitely outnumber, so it's -2. So it's actually going to be, there's 5 of them. There'll be 1 specialist and a lieutenant. And now the real question, who is the unique individual? As I said, there's definitely a unique individual guarding this stash that's gonna be a member of the crew. 67. A Hashkan investigator. Odd-suited aliens that trek the galaxy in search of something vitally important to their species, for some reason hooked up with Captain Nix and the Vendetta's crew when they were still a crew together, and presumably is still looking for something vitally important to his species, but is there. His AI is D for, I presume, defensive. So he's gonna act slightly differently than the rest of them. Hashkan investigator, his name is Garnak, we'll say. Okay, so that means we are ready to fight this battle at the area where the stash is. I haven't determined what that is yet, but we do know it's a small encounter, which leads me to believe that there's not a lot of people around, so it's probably not in the city. I think Garnak, the investigator, wanted to stash those items there because he had a vested interest in finding some other item on Traxia 5. So I think he's in the middle of like an excavation kind of thing. So the area that we're going to fight the battle in is some kind of ancient temple structure that is currently under excavation. Yeah, that's going to be our fight. This could be difficult because there's only 5 of our guys going in, but this is for all the marbles. This is for the stash, and if they kill Garnak, if they put him down, that means there's only 1 unique individual left before the captain has his vengeance sated. So let us see what happens and go to the table. So here we are at the excavation site. This is the place where the member of the Vendetta's crew, one Garnak, has been excavating around here to find a particular item that his species requires, because that's what the Hashan investigators are all about. So what is that item? That item is it's going to be this guy right here. The item starts from the center, and I think it's placed 2d6 inches from the center of the table. So I'm going to roll right here, and it's going to be 9 inches that way. 9 inches from the center is right here, so it's going to be placed right there. Now here's the interesting thing about this. There's a couple of supplemental rules I'm going to be using from the Trailblazers handbook. Basically, I am turning Garnak into an elite enemy, an elite unique individual, which means not only does his combat score go up by +1, but also he has a trait called Driven, which means because he's looking for this item, as long as this is on the table, this item of peculiar interest with it, which is worth +2 XP for someone who finds it. Garnak is +1 to shoot and brawl because he wants that thing. The other thing, he has armored. He has a special type of armor, which basically means all damage against him is +0. So he's going to be much harder to take down now. And as well, he has a luck point. I almost forgot that one. That is the scenario. The other thing we're going to do is we are going to adopt the enemy deployment variable rule from the Trailblazers handbook. And also, I'm going to be doing random events every 2 rounds as well from the main book. There's no objective here. It's just a fight to the end. First of all, we're going to seize the initiative. We're going to see if we can. Over here, you can see that we have our 3 Black Dragon mercenaries. We also have a specialist with a hyper blaster, which is going to be problematic. We've got the lieutenant here with his blade and his colony rifle, and then we've got the Haskan investigator there with his plasma rifle. Black Dragon mercenaries means that we are -1 to seize the initiative, but Kale has his scanner bot, which is +1, so it's a straight up roll. So 2, 4, 6. We are outnumbered, so we will get +1 to this. All right, do we seize initiative? +1. 8 +1 is 9. Unfortunately, we do not seize the initiative, which means we go to the enemy deployment variable table. So I'm going to take my 2d10 here, and I'm rolling on tactical because the Black Dragon mercenary is on tactical. The Haskan investigator is actually on defensive. That's his AI, so it's slightly different. But under tactical, what do we have? We have 35 improved positions. Each enemy figure is moved to be in or directly behind the nearest terrain feature that would provide cover while still providing a firing position. So they are lying in wait for our guys. They're in improved positions. Now, are they still 8 inches away from each other, more or less? More or less. I mean, yeah, let's move these guys a little closer here. We go to do the reaction roll. Now, I was doing the communicator slightly incorrectly before. When making the reaction roll each round, you may roll 1 additional die, then choose a die to discard, which works fine for me. So we're rolling 2, 4, 5. We're going to roll 6 dice because there's only 5 of us because it's a smaller encounter. All right, well, that's not great. We're going to reroll one of the 6s for the communicator, and oh boy, well, this is pretty bad, actually. Hey, post-production Trev here again. Well, I did it again. No sooner did I read the rule on how the communicator works did I immediately screw it up again. Instead of just discarding one of the dice, the extra dice, I decided to re-roll it inexplicably. You see, kids, this is what happens when you run and play 5 different games at a time. All the rules get jumbled up in your head. Anyway, I continuously make that mistake. So, no need to comment on it. I got it. Enjoy. Who has reactions 3? Anybody? No. So only one is going to go in the quick phase. Well, I think it's got to be somebody with a long-range weapon. That's probably going to be Vine with his infantry laser or Mara with her hunting rifle. I think it's going to be Mara. So they started right here at the edge of the table. Here's the other thing. If she moves and fires, it's a heavy weapon, so she's going to be -1, which means that's an impossible shot because it's 6 up. She has the stealth gear, which means that enemies over 9 inches are -1 to hit her. So she's sort of she's going to stick where she is. She is going to go into Overwatch, essentially. So she is targeting the area. This allows them to either fire when an enemy moves or to delay until the slow actions phase. And if a moving enemy is stunned as a result of the snap fire, they lose the ability to fire this round. So she is holding for opportunity. She is in Overwatch, essentially, which means that now we go to the enemy phase. So let's deal with Haskan right now because he's further to the left, and a plasma rifle's range is 20 inches, so he has to get closer if he wants to hit anybody. He's going to advance to weapon range, but will remain in their initial half of the table, and will remain in cover behind terrain whenever possible. So he's going to basically be a sniper, but he's got to get closer because his range is only 20 inches. So he is going to try and move closer, but of course that's going to make him eligible for a snap fire shot as he's moving, which is kind of good. So Overwatch kind of works in our advantage this time, which is great. So his move is 5. He's going to try and get, you know what? Oh, is he going to be a sneaky bugger? I think he is. He's going to move his 4 over here, and as he's moving out here, he will ultimately end up kind of there. But as he's moving, as he's moving out there, Mara gets her shot. It is still within range, not in cover, so it is 5 up, and her combat is now +1. Okay, so she cracks a rifle shot. As Hassan moves, 3 unfortunately will miss. As it ricochets off the rocks and he winds up there. He doesn't have a shot yet because his range is 20, so he's going to have to move closer. Meanwhile, these guys are all using colony rifles, and the colony rifles have an 18-inch range, which again means that he is going to have to move closer. Their movement, and they're all fearless too, by the way, so there's no morale checks for any of these. They're fighting to the death, basically. Defending that stash, defending the dig site. Their speed is 5, and they're gonna move half move if they can into cover. They're gonna close and try and outflank if they can. So keeping that in mind, well, he's starting here. A half move would only put him here, but I think he is in fact going to do a full move into cover. Normally they'd move half, but they can move full if they're not in cover. Meanwhile, over here, they also have to get closer if they want a shot. They're gonna move half move closer, and remember that everyone's trying to, these guys are gonna try and flank them. So I think these guys are gonna go straight in. He is gonna go, well, he can't really do a half move into cover. He's gonna do a full move into cover there. Does he have a shot? Ooh, he might actually have a shot from here. That's a tougher shot. I'd say it's actually gonna be the captain, or it's probably Katria. She is mostly, by the way, this stuff here, this stuff is kind of meant to be like if I could model a big pit in the ground, I would, with stuff on the bottom. So this doesn't count for cover, okay? This is stuff at the bottom of the pit. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. That's why it's unpainted, not because I have no time or I'm lazy. It's because it's at the bottom of a pit. His shot at Katria is gonna be clear. This is the specialist who's moved up. He's got the Hyper Blaster with a range of 24. Ooh, at Katria, she's not in cover. He's a specialist. He's got +1 combat. He's using a Hyper Blaster. It's 3 shots. Ooh, Katria's in trouble automatically. He comes up and is gonna fire. He's rolling at +1. It's gotta be 5 ups. Here's the first one. 3 + 1 is 4. That's a miss. Second shot. Oh, second shot is gonna hit Katria. It does a damage of +1 against her toughness of 4. +1 versus 4. Oh no! She could be taken out. Oh, she could be taken up. Oh, you know what? Okay, using the stim pack. Using the stim pack. Ha 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 ha. Hashtag I remember the stim pack this time. That's a very long hashtag. She's using the stim pack, which means she is not taken out from that shot. She is stunned and moved back an inch. But there's still a third shot coming in. This is at +1, looking for 5s. 3 + 4. Oh, wow. Okay, that Hyper Blaster misses, but that's a devastating weapon. Brutal. Okay, that was him. Now, meanwhile, this merc over here, he's got the colony rifle, which only has an 18-inch range, so he's gonna have to get closer. He's gonna remain within 2. He can't do a half move, so he's gotta do a full move, which is gonna place him, boom, again behind cover there. The lieutenant and this guy, they're gonna try and flank the enemy, so they're going to move half moves into cover if they can, but again, there's lots of wide open spaces here. He's going to dash all the way up here into cover, and this guy, that'll take 2 and then 5. This guy will be right behind him there. Now we go to the slow round, the slow actions of round 1. Well, Myra's already shot, so she is out. Katria is stunned, so she has got to get to cover real fast. Katria's move, or speed rather, is 4. Oh boy, it's so tough. Kind of behind this rock, hoping that that's gonna provide some cover for her. And because she was stunned, that's the end of her round. Over here, the captain. Now the captain, that is his target, but he's gonna have to get up there first. So he's gonna move his 5 to here. And then does he have a shot at all? Yes, he does. Yes, he does, and it is within range, but it's definitely behind cover, so this is gonna be a 6 up. However, he is +2 to hit as he raises the military rifle. And he rolls a 1, and so that's a miss, unfortunately, but, and he can't re-roll it because he moved, he wasn't aiming. That is the end of the captain's turn. We go to Vine now. Vine has a huge range with his gun. He could fire at that guy with the Mega Blaster. Because he's got the battle visor on, he re-rolls 1s anyway. He is going to move up here, and from behind cover, he's going, oh, that's a tough shot. It's only damage 0 in 1 shot, but he's gonna roll with a +1 combat. He's looking for 6s, unfortunately. But he re-rolls 1s because of the battle visor. Boom, and he goes to 6. He actually hits him. This could be very, very good. The damage is 0 against a specialist toughness of 4. Here we go. He takes out the Hyper Blaster. Boom, which means Vine gets his +1 XP. Vine gets his +1 XP for first blood. Wow, good shot, Vine. This brings us over to Kale. Kale, who has not done anything, but he probably sees those fellas behind there. He is using a military rifle, which means that he doesn't quite have range. He could move up and try and hit his speed. I think he's quite fast, Kale, isn't he? His speed is 5, but his toughness is 3. He definitely needs to remain in cover, so he is going to, yeah, he's gonna sort of run up there, You know what? I think that tree is blocking sight, just aware, but he's also benefiting from the cover of that. Unfortunately, that's it for him. So he's just gonna dash, actually. He's gonna dash another 2 into the tree. So he is definitely in cover here, but that is the end of his round. We go to round 2 now. We're going back to reactions now. We get the extra die. And what do we get? Okay, re-rolling the 6 for the communicator. Oh, this is terrible again. Okay, well, only one person can take it. Who's gonna take it over here? I think Katria. So Katria's gonna move to there. She can try and shoot this guy. So she's moving and firing. There's no aiming, but she's firing at +2. She needs 6s. 4 + 2. She hits that Black Dragon Mercenary. Damage 0 plus the toughness 4. Okay, so unfortunately she stuns him and knocks him back. Ugh. And stunned. Okay, it is the enemy's turn. Let's deal with Grishnak the Gachach. Whatever his name was. He's only got a range of 20 with that plasma, which means that he's just out of range. So he is going to move. He's going to have to go all the way here into the trees, which he can do because he's got a speed of 5. He is going to take a shot with his plasma rifle at Captain Ganymer, who of course he recognizes. And as he sort of sees him from behind his sort of weird alien biosuit or whatever, there's sort of a series of flashing lights underneath the glass of the helmet or whatever that indicates recognition. And he raises the plasma rifle and with a barrage of fire, which is in actuality 2 shots with the plasma rifle. Normally his attack is at +1, but because he is driven and we have not yet retrieved this, it's +2. Okay, 2 shots with a plasma rifle. His first shot +2 is a miss. And his second shot is a hit on the captain with the plasma rifle. It's piercing, so that would bypass armor. The captain doesn't have any armor. The captain's toughness is 4. So the damage is 1, and he rolls 1 + 1. So he stuns the captain and knocks him back. Ugh! That was him. Over here, this guy is stunned, so he can only do one thing. He can either move or shoot. Normally, stunned enemies will shoot if they have a shot. He does have a shot on Katria. Oh, wait a minute. No, sorry. These are colony rifles. So no, they have a range of 18. I keep thinking of the military, they're colony rifles. So instead of that, he's gonna try and catch up with his guy. So he is going to take his 2 and then 3 inches, which is gonna put him there, but his stun is now taken care of. Over here, Tactical will aim and fire if they can. He does not have a shot. He's gotta move slightly. So he moves up to here, behind this cover here, but he definitely now has a shot within 18 inches of Katria. So he fires his colony rifle. They're firing at +1. Colony rifles only have 1 shot, and 3 + 1 is 4. Now these guys again are going to close and attempt to flank. So they're going to move half moves if they can. They know he's there, so our lieutenant is going to go 1 and 1, which puts him there. Half move, we'll call it 3 because they move at 5. So I'll actually put him there. That's a half move, and he does have a shot now at Kale. This is the lieutenant who has a colony rifle, so 18 inches. He is within range, and he's gonna fire at Kale. He needs 6 ups. This guy, the lieutenant, the lieutenant's at +2. Okay, does he hit Kale? He hits Kale through the cover. Does he do damage? The colony rifle is 0, but Kale's toughness is only 3. Oh no, he's gonna take Kale out. Unless we use a story point to re-roll this die, and I think I'm gonna do it. Re-roll this die. Kale is only stunned and knocked back to the edge of the trees. And now this guy as well. He's got the colony rifle 18 inches. I'm gonna say he moves there, he moves a half move. He does not have a line of sight on Kale from there, so we can't take a shot. That's his move, and that is all the enemies. Now we go to the slow phase over here. The captain is stunned. He can only do one thing. Well, he's going to move to cover for sure, and that'll take up his stun, so he's done. Katria is still in the fight. She's got a good range, and she can shoot at him, but she needs to move to some cover against him. I think she's going to move into here, just like another 2-inch move, and she's going to fire at him. Now she's rolling at +2 because she is awesome, but she only gets 1 shot. +2. That is a hit. Now here's the thing, he's got that armored suit, which means that all weapons count as 0 damage against him, which wouldn't matter in this case anyway, because the military rifle doesn't have a damage bonus, but his toughness is 4. Okay, she only stuns him and drives him back. Ugh. That was Katria. Vine, dead on the vine. The obvious target is gonna be this fella here, but he does have a shot if he really wants at that guy over there. No, I think it's more likely he's gonna try and blast this guy. He rerolls 1s because of the battle visor, and he fires at +1. 3 + 1 is 4, he misses. Over here, Mara. Does Mara have a shot at anybody? She can't shoot, well, she can't shoot the Garnak, mostly because of line of sight issues. She would have to shoot through her friends, and you normally can't do that for obvious reasons. So instead, she is gonna take a shot at this fella right here, well within the 30-inch range. She can aim and fire, which she's going to do, and she misses. And finally over here we have Kale, who is also stunned. He's still benefiting from cover, so he can either move or fire. I think he's got to fire. He can't aim though, he's just got to fire. And he rolls with his military rifle at +1 versus that. Oh my God, he hit the lieutenant. What is the damage? The lieutenant's toughness is 4. And he does not take out the lieutenant. He only stuns the lieutenant and drives him back. Ugh. Not directly back into the other guy. That brings us to the end of turn 2. So now we have our first random event. Let us see what goes on. Random event 89. Oh no! Lost! A random crew member loses their way and misses the rest of the battle. Remove the figure from the battlefield. They rejoin you safely afterwards, looking a bit sheepish. Woo! Ignore this event if you are currently outnumbered. There are 5 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are not currently outnumbered, so someone gets lost on the battlefield. Is it gonna be? Oh, this is terrible. Who is it? It's Kale. Kale gets lost. I don't know how he got lost, but we'll determine that later. Oh boy, oh no, that's a terrible outcome. Okay, let's do our reaction rolls here. We're now rolling 5 dice because there's only 4 members of the crew left. Here we go. Cannot roll anything. Oh boy, cannot roll anything. Oh my God, I cannot roll anything. They all go in the slow phase. Okay, enemies go first. Well, he still gets his +1, but he is stunned. He's going to move back into cover. Or was he? I don't remember. Stunned enemies. Stunned enemies, shoot. Anybody in range of 20? Yeah, Katria and the captain. I think it's gonna be the captain. Okay, he's a +2, but the captain's behind cover. So 5 + 2 is 7. He hits the captain. He's got 2 shots with the plasma rifle. What's the first shot do? Plasma rifle damage 1 versus toughness 4. Takes out the captain. Takes out the captain. That with the first shot, unless we have no more stimpaks. I use the stimpaks. I could use a story point. Oh, the captain has luck. The captain has luck. So the captain has spent his luck point. Oh, I'm starting to remember these rules, he said, tempting fate and about to forget other rules, no doubt. He loses 1 point of luck and is immediately moved 1d6 in a random direction as he dives out of the way. He's otherwise unharmed. Ooh, that's awesome. That was just the first shot too. Which direction? That way. He moves that way. That's not a good direction to go, Captain. That is not a good direction to go because you still are in range of that plasma rifle, I think. Yeah, you are. So the second shot comes in as the captain dives out of the way. The second shot comes in at +2. Oh no, that's another hit. Damage 1 against toughness 4 is 4. +1 is 5. He is out of luck. The only thing I can do now is spend a story point, or once per campaign, I can use the Stars of the Story rules. There's nothing in Stars of the Story that immediately applies to this, but story point. You know what? I think I have to. This is the captain. This is his focus. I have to re-roll. Do I want to re-roll the hit? No, I want to re-roll the damage because the damage +1. So I'm going to re-roll. So he's going to be hit. But what is the damage with +1 against? No, no! 3 plus 1 is 4! He's still taken out because his toughness is 4. He has no armor. Oh no, the captain is taken out! We don't know what happens to taken out characters. They're not necessarily dead, they're just taken out. Oh, it could be all for nothing. Maybe I erred on the elite enemy rule. I thought it'd be cool to change things up, but oh boy, he's so tough. Okay, this guy, he does not have to move, I don't think, because he can aim at Katria, who is within range. He's going to aim and fire because he's tactical, and he, of course, is rolling at +1, and he's going to roll 5 plus 1 is 6, which is what he needs. He hits Katria. This is looking terrible. It's just a colony rifle, so it doesn't do anything. It's going to stun her and knock her back. Ugh! That was him. Over here. Oh, I think this guy's going to try and finish the job. Also within 18 inches is Oh, you know what? From this angle, he has no line of sight on Katria, but he does have line of sight on Vine, so he's going to fire +1. 4 plus 1 is 5. That is a miss. Ricochets off the rocks, thank goodness. Over here, this guy is stunned, so he's gonna fire if he can, but I don't think he can because nobody is within range. So he's gonna have to do a half move into cover over here, and that takes up his stun, but he is done. This guy, he is gonna do a half move into cover there, but I think he is now, does he have line of sight? He just has line of sight, but is it 18? I think it's 18. As the crow flies, as the bullet flies, oh no, not quite. Not quite, which means he's going to have to do instead, he's going to do a full move of 5, which puts him there. And he definitely does not have line of sight now, but he is he's behind cover. That was the enemy's phase. We go to, oh boy, our quickly depleting crew. Katria's first, she is stunned. Well, she's still in cover. She doesn't have a shot on Gushnak or whatever his name is over here, but she does have a shot on this fella. I think she's going to take it. She can't aim, however. She's rolling a +2. +2, that is a hit. Does she damage? It's no damage bonus. 5 takes him out of toughness 4. Takes out that mercenary. Vine over here. You know, in some ways, they kind of want to get there and take this thing because this guy's +1 to everything he does. Until that thing is up, but oh boy, there's only 3 of them left. Okay, does Vine have a shot at this fella? He does. Vine's gonna shoot at this guy over here. +1, no, he misses. But he, actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep the outcome of that roll, but I'm gonna say actually that he moves up to here first. So he moves up to here, he has a shot over that cover, he misses, so he's done. All right, that was him. Finally, Mara. Now, Mara's got range. She is also essentially -1 to be hit from here, so she doesn't really necessarily need to go into cover. So she's going to aim and fire her heavy weapon at the lieutenant, who I'm pretty sure is within 30 inches, no problem. Mara Mason is rolling at +1. Does she hit the lieutenant? 2 plus 1 is 3. She misses. Okay, that was it for her, which means we go into round 4. Oh boy, and our reaction rolls. We roll 4 dice now because there's only 3 characters left. Oh, you've got to be kidding me! They all go in the slow phase. They all go in the slow phase. Oh wait, we can reroll one. Let's reroll the 6. 1, there we go, goodness, okay. Who needs the 1? Probably, I think Vine's gonna take it, actually. Vine's gonna take that, everybody else is gonna go on the slow action. Oh boy, you know what? It would be so much smarter if he just shot to try to take this guy because he's got range. I was trying to get him over here to grab that thing to sort of neutralize this guy's extra bonus, but because if he can't really go in here, he's got to go on the outside. If he does that, 4 puts him there. He could dash to cover, but then his whole round's done. I think he's going to try and take this guy out first. He's rolling a +1 combat, and 5 plus 1 is 6. That is a hit. Unfortunately, the military laser has no damage bonus, so it's a straight up shot against 4. Takes out the mercenary, which is great. So he's done, which means we go to the enemy phase now. Dude over here is stunned, faux show, which means he's going to fire if he has a shot. Does he have a shot? He does not have a shot, so he is going to move into cover, and that's it for him because he was stunned. And what do we have over here? We've got this guy right here. Well, this guy's gonna do a half move, which is there, which gives him a shot, so he's still in cover. Now he has a shot on Vine, and he's gonna take it. This mercenary, Black Dragon mercenary, is rolling at +1. 5 plus 1 is 6. He hits Vine. What does he do for damage? Calling rifle just plus 0. So it stuns Vine as he goes back 1 inch directly. Boom. There. No, he does not knock into Mira. And he is stunned. And over here, this guy, I think, has to move closer. They're still trying to flank. So he is going to go... He can't really do a half move, so he's going to do a full move through open cover, or through the open to cover. And then from here, he has a shot on Vine again. He will take it. Now, this is the lieutenant, who is firing at +2. Okay, if he hadn't moved, he would be able to re-roll, but he misses with his calling rifle. Okay, that was the enemy's turn. Now we go to slow phase. That's only these two right here. Katria. I think she is going to do something crazy. She's gonna move 4, which puts her there, and then she's gonna dash 2, which kind of puts her there. She's trying to get to this thing, this item, not necessarily for the experience, but to neutralize Garnak's advantage, who is so driven to get this thing. So that's her, which leaves us with Mara. Mara has a shot on the lieutenant. I think she's going to take it. She does have a shot through cover, but I think she's more likely to take out the lieutenant here. So she's going to fire. She has a +1 bonus to attack, and she rerolls 1s because she is aiming, and she misses. And that's it for Mara. That's the end of the round. We go to round 5, which means at the end of round 4, we have another random battle event. What's the event? 30. Ammo fault. This is awful. Select a random figure in your crew. If they fired a weapon last round, it cannot be used for the rest of the battle. If they did not, select a random carried weapon, which can be fired only once this battle. Wow, man. It just gets worse and worse. Who is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to be 1. It's going to be Katria. Katria did not fire last round. Woo! So, select a random carried weapon, which can be fired only once this battle. She has a blade and a military rifle. She did not fire. This is kind of murky, this rule, but I'm going to roll anyway. Basically, if I roll 1 to 3, that's good, because it indicates the blade. No, of course. So basically, she can only fire once this battle, so she ammo faults. She as she's running across here, her ammo belt gets, snagged on some bushes, and she basically loses her ammo. So all she has left is the ammo in her gun. She can only fire once more, and then she's out. Oh, this just gets worse and worse. Okay, let's go to our reaction rolls for the 3 of these folks here. Oh boy, this is awful. 1, we're gonna roll. The communicator is down because the captain's he's out of the fight, so we shouldn't be rolling that. So 1, Katria. Katria takes the 1, the rest of them are on slow. Okay, quick phase, Katria. She's going to move. Oh, she's only got 1 shot left. She's gonna move her 4. And she's going to dash up to this thing, which means that next round, if she lives, she can interact with it, but Buddy is right here. He's within 5 inches. Really bad news. That's it for the quick phase. We start over here. Well, obviously, Harkan sees this, and now he is within 6 inches. He only needs a 3-up, and he has 2 shots. Oh, this was a stupid idea, Katria. What are you doing? She would have cover if this angle was any different, but unfortunately, it is not. It is a bad angle. Okay, this is awful. He's rolling a +2, 3-up. Okay, well, he hits with the first one. Let's just see what happens with the second one. He'll actually, +2 is 3. He can't miss at this range. Wow, okay, so he hits twice. Plasma rifle does 1 damage against her toughness of 4. First one, we'll take her out. Unless we spend a story point to re-roll that, I'm going to. We're losing this battle quickly. Oh, this is so expensive. Okay, so this was the first damage against her. Still takes her out, because the second shot would have done. She gets taken out. Katria is taken out. Okay, that was him. Oh boy, this is terrible. We're down to 2. The enemy here still has a shot, or rather has a shot. Behind cover. He rolls at +1 and rolls a 4. That's a miss. And this guy also has a shot, but he is going to tactically move here, because they are trying to flank, actually. So they're trying to close within 12 and then flank. So he would have actually moved to there and shot. And then this guy is going to move there. And he still has a shot at Vine. And so he takes it, but he's rolling at +2. And to his 5s. He misses Vine. Over here, Vine goes first. He's stunned. Well, he's no longer stunned, but he can only do one thing. He can't aim, but he does reroll once because of the battle visor. He's going to shoot the lieutenant, who is right there. Vine is rolling at +1. Come on, buddy. Oh! He misses him, unfortunately. And over here we have Mara, who has a nice open shot at him. So this is going to be a 5-up for her. She is aiming as well. +1. +1. That is a hit. Pow! Her hunting rifle also does +1 damage against his toughness of 4. +1 versus 4. Yes! He takes out the lieutenant. Oh! Okay, and that was at the end of her turn, which brings us to the beginning of round 6. Are we on round 6 already? Okay, we have our 2 reaction dies, the top of the round. And remember, there's no morale for these guys. They're fearless because of this quest battle. Sucks. Okay, they're both in the slow phase. Garnak, there's no rules about Garnak actually going for the item, even though that's what he wants. So yeah, he's just going to shoot from cover. He'll aim and fire at Vine. Vine does have cover, so this is going to be at +2. The first shot at +2, of course, hits Vine. It does +1 damage against Vine's toughness of 4, and it takes Vine out. I can't really spend any more story points. I think we're going to lose this thing, unless if I re-roll that and it doesn't take him out, there's still a second shot coming in. Yeah, okay, that's what story point's for. He's using a story point to re-roll this damage. Okay, so he is stunned from this and knocked back this way. The second shot comes in at +2, will hit. Here's the damage. Here's the damage. Okay, so he's stunned for 2 and knocked back again. Okay, this isn't terrible. Now, these once-a-campaign things called the stars of the story, the crew may immediately end a battle, but we don't want to do that. It looked worse than it was. Ignore a roll on the injury table. That's not what this is. Did you meet my mate? A new character to your team. Add a new character to your team even mid-battle. We could do that, but I have to make a new character to do that. Or Lucky Shot, or Rainy Day Fund. I don't really want to take the time to make a new character, so I'm not going to use that now. Over here, there's one guy left. Again, normally if they had any morale, they'd be making it, but they don't. Now, is this guy in range? He is still in range. So he is actually going to half move there, just to kind of remain behind that cover. He's definitely going to fire at Vine. He's rolling at +1. 3 + 1 is 4. That is a miss. Now we go to the slow phase. Vine is stunned for 2. Well, he's already in cover against. He's got to shoot. He's got to shoot. So he's removes 1 stun. So he's only stunned for 1. And now he fires at. Well, here's the thing. They're all in range. Everybody's in range of everybody right now. He's got to fire at him. Who still has a luck point, remember? Okay. He fires at +1. Oh, he hits, and the damage of the military laser is 0. It's going to stun him and knock him back. Okay, well, that's okay. And he's down to 1, and now Mara is also going to fire at him through. Ooh, that's some serious cover. You know what? Because of where he got knocked back to, I don't think she has a shot. I don't think she has. She doesn't have a line of sight directly on him because that big tree is in the way, isn't it? Actually, no. Well, it's got to be to him. He's not actually that huge. Yeah, she doesn't have a shot on him, but she does have a shot on him. So she's gonna fire at +1, re-rolling 1s, miss. Unfortunately. Okay, boy, oh boy, this brings us to round 7 reactions. Okay, that's a little better. That is a little better because they both have reactions too. So they're both gonna go in the early phase, which is good. This guy is still stunned, so this is their opportunity. I think that Vine has a shot. He does, he can just see him. Takes up his, so he can't aim, but it doesn't matter, he's got his battle visor. So he turns and fires his laser at +1. Oh, but he re-rolls 1s because of the battle visor, and he misses. Okay, meanwhile, Mara over here still does not have a shot at him. She does not want to move and fire because she'll be at -1, so she can definitely see this guy. +1 is 5, but he's behind cover, so that's a miss. Okay, enemy phase. He's stunned, barely in range. In fact, he's not. So he can't shoot because he's just out of range. So his stun is taken and he moves again back into cover, and that is him. This guy still trying to flank. If he does a full move, actually, yeah, he could do a full move here. So he's still behind cover, and he's gonna shoot at Vine, and he's shooting at +1. No reroll for ones because he's not aiming. And he hits Vine with the calling rifle against Vine's toughness of 4, and he rolls a 2. So he stuns Vine. Oh boy, Vine is just getting peppered with blasts and stuff, and it's just the worst. Okay, that's the end of the round. It's moving very fast now. We go to round round 8 now. We could leave, we could flee, or we could. The thing is, we're pretty close. They're gonna still fight. They're still gonna fight it out. Okay, well, that sucks. They're on the slow rounds. They are on the slow phase. Enemies go first. Enemies go first. Is Vine within range? Yes, he is. He fires at +2. 4 is a miss. Second shot. Aiming because he didn't move this round and he's not stunned, so he rerolls the 1, and of course he hits Vine. The damage is +1 against his toughness. So he's stunned, moved back, boom, this way, stunned for 2 again. Oh boy, Vine is tough. He's tough. This dude is going to move a half mood into the cover here, and he's going to fire at Vine. Fired Vine at +1. 2 + 1 is 3. That is a miss because he's not within range. That is end of enemy turn. We go to slow turn. Vine is stunned for 2. Has a shot, but he's way out in cover. I think if he moves into cover, I think he has to move into cover. This is too dangerous. Or he just shoots. No, he's got to move into cover. He's got to move into cover. He moves into cover, and he can't do anything else, so his stun goes down to 1. Mara has a shot at him, but it's going to still be in cover. She's rolling at +1. 5 misses because of the cover. And that's it for them. We now go into the 7-8. This is getting terrible. Oh boy. 1, so somebody goes first. It's going to be Stein. She's on that. In the quick phase, boom, Stein is going to shoot. He's firing for cover. That takes up his stun. He only gets one thing he can do. He shoots at +1. He's looking for 6s. +1, 5. He misses. There, over here, it is the enemy's phase. He's moved into cover, still within 20. So, again, his defensive tactics. He just sits, aims, and shoots. First shot is a miss. +2 is 4. He needed 6. Second one. Oh boy, that is a hit. What's the damage? The damage is +1 against toughness 4. Vine is taken out. Over here, we have the Black Dragon Mercenary firing, but it's greater than 9 inches, so he's -1, so that cancels his +1. She is not in cover though, so this is a 5-up, straight up 5-up, and of course he misses with the Colony Rifle, which brings us to her. She's in a bad situation here. She is the only one left. We know that he is still a lucky fella and has that suit of armor that counts every damage as 1, and he's getting +1 to hit because of this. What's Mara's motivations here? Oh boy, this is awful. Motivations are wealth. Her motivations are wealth, which means she is gonna stick and fight because she's here for the money. She is gonna stick and fight. She shoots at this fella right here. +1, no, miss. Is this round 10? I think it's round 10. And she gets a 6. So she's in the slow phase. Enemies act first. Now, she is out of range of his plasma rifle, just barely. So he is going to move here, behind this rock kind of area thing, where he can still see her, but he's going to fire. He cannot aim. He fires once. He does not reroll once because he was not aiming. So the first shot misses. The second shot with a +2 is a 6, and that'll hit her, and the damage is +1, and 3 + 1 is 4 against Mara's toughness of 4. She is taken out. And that ends the battle in a very, very bad way. 4 of our guys got taken out. Kale, who just got lost, he's perfectly fine, presumably, but Everyone else got taken out. They did not achieve the stash, and it was because this guy's so unbelievably tough. So, elite enemies, just for the record going forward, elite enemies are very dangerous, okay? Wow. Okay, well, that's the end of the battle. Let's see what happens in the post-battle. Let's see what happens to our 4 injured comrades. They might not come out of this. Okay, here we are in the post-battle. That went about as poorly as it possibly could have. We are in big trouble. So Kale will come back looking a bit sheepish. Well, we did not hold the field, so we don't have to worry about rival status because they won. They beat us. There's no patron status because we didn't do a patron thing. Here we go. Quest progress. They now know that we know where the stash is. So they take it and hightail. There's no refighting this battle. So the quest is essentially failed. There's no need to roll here because this was the finale and we failed miserably. Okay, well, get paid. Let's see. We do get paid 1d6 credits and pay, loot, bounty, or salvage. And if we finish the quest, we would roll twice and take the better score and add a +1, but we did not. And so, oh boy, what do we get out of this? 4 credits in salvage. All right, well, I'll take it. Battlefield finds, we did not hold the field, so we can't roll on this. These guys were not an invasion threat. We don't have to worry about that. Gather the loot. We would have been able to roll 3 times on this if we had finished the quest battle, but alas, we did not. But we do roll once to see if we've earned anything from looting, on the bodies of our own guys. Loot table. We find something, though. Don't come out of this totally empty-handed. 34 damaged weapons. Okay, so the first one is going to be an 86, a grenade, but damaged. The second one is going to be a slug weapon. Okay, so the slug weapon is a rattle gun, a damaged rattle gun, and the grenade, 81. Dazzle grenades. Okay. Oh boy, just awful. And now the big one, determine injuries and recovery. Now remember, we do have story points here, and I might want to use them in this special way. The special way meaning I can spend a story point before I roll on any table outside combat to roll twice and pick the result I prefer. I might want to do that for the captain because I don't want him to die. I'm going to spend the story point to roll twice and take the best. That is different than just spending after the roll, because if you spend after the roll, you're stuck with the second outcome. The captain. Here we go. 61 is our first roll. Minor injuries, no long-term effect. I'll probably take that. Or the second one. 19, equipment loss. Well, obviously I'm going to take minor injuries. The captain is okay, but he is 1 turn in sickbay. And now, Mara. I can't really keep spending story points for everybody. This is Mara, and it is 55. Minor injuries, no long-term effect, 1 turn sickbay. Vine. Vine means. What happened to Vine Mains 48? Serious injury, 1d3 plus 1 turns in sickbay, and it's 2+, so 3 turns in sickbay. Vine, but no long-term effect, so that's okay. And finally, Cathria, because Kale ran away. Kale got lost. Lucky him. Cathria, 47. Serious injury, no long-term effect, but 1d3 turns in sickbay. 4 turns in sickbay. Oh, our whole crew is the walking wounded. Terrible. All right, experience points. Vine got the first blood, so he gets 1 for that. Captain became a casualty. They could have got an additional XP for being the final stage of a quest. Oh boy, this is just awful. Well, the captain gets 1. Mara became a casualty, so she gets 1. Vine became a casualty. Kale did not become a casualty. He survived but did not win, so he gets 2 XP. And Cathria became a casualty, so she gets 1. Okay, well, the only one that can buy anything is Vine with his 6 points. I'm gonna spend the 6 points and raise his toughness to 5. Invest in advanced training? No. Anyway, it's harder to do that on this planet anyway. I think we gotta get the hell off this planet is what I think. Purchase items, 3 credits. It would be nice to get some stim packs, but you have to roll on a table to see if you can actually do it. Oh, we still have 5 credits of fuel, so that is a ticket out of here. We do have to do upkeep, but not for people. You know what? I'm gonna do it. We're getting broke. And broken. Our bodies are also broken. Stimpaks are for gadgets, so I'm gonna roll once on the gadget table and see what we get. Come on, Stimpak. 0-4, totally opposite. Oh, an AI companion. It's an implant. When making savvy rolls, the character may roll twice and pick the better score. Catherine's got the best. I'm gonna give it to her because she's the one who can do repairs. Of course, she is in the sick bay. So while she's in the sick bay, she has the doctors implant her with this crazy AI companion. And then that's it. I'm not gonna spend any more on that. So roll for a campaign event. 43. An alien merchant offers you some strange device. If you want to buy it, pay 4 credits, then roll on the loot table. I don't think I can afford it. I've only got 8 and I don't wanna. So some alien merchant comes up to us and says, I see you are terribly wounded. Perhaps I could help you with this piece of loot, which could be totally random. Oh, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think we're gonna take it. Nope. Character events. Select a random character. There are 6 of us. Who's it gonna be? 1, 2, 3, 4. Vine! Vine gets a lot of stuff happening to him. Character events. 95. Oh, this is the worst thing ever. A deep feeling of melancholy and despair is afflicting you. I believe it. The character will earn no XP next campaign turn. Well, he's in the sick bay for the next campaign turn, so he's not earning XP anyway. And that was the event. We do not roll for Galactic War Progress because Putnik 2 was already lost to Unity, so there's no need to roll for that. It is gone forever. Much as the stash is gone forever, we tried to go after good old Garnak here, but he proved too tough with his Black Dragon mercenaries, and now that they know that we've found their location, he's going to grab the stash and relocate it somewhere. He is still out there, so now we know that if we do encounter a rival again, it could be him coming back for the captain, who himself is going to be only 1 turn in sick bay with Mara, but everybody else in sick bay. Next campaign turn is going to be pretty slim. Very slim. How are they going to handle this? There's only Stein and Kale that are not the Walking Wounded, so they can't do a combat mission, or maybe they can. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out next time here on Me, Myself, and Die. Thanks for joining me, and please do hit like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing here, or join us on the YouTube channel membership or on Patreon, or visit the website memyselfanddie.com for some handmade merchandise that we sell there. Also, buying products through the Drive-Thru RPG links below does help out the show, so that's a good way to support us as well. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time on the next episode of 5 Parsecs from Home here on Me, Myself, and Die.